Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode, another edition of the Speak Up Now podcast. And I'm your host, Dario Silva, aka Mr. GQ, bringing you some important content, some exciting content, some content that's going to inspire you, the viewer, you, the people, to speak up now, because it'll only make you better, stronger, and mentally better for you. So, but I'm excited for today's episode and topic because one, like I always say, all episodes are important, but I feel like this one is extremely important because it's something that all of us have done and people don't think about. So that's what today's topic is about. So if you're a new viewer, thank you for tuning in. Whoa. What are you doing? You forgetting to hit the subscribe button? Stop it. What are you doing? You watching the Speak Up Now podcast and you watching your host, Dario Silva, aka Mr. GQ, give you some unbelievable content. What are you doing? I need you to subscribe right now. Check out my social media platforms that you see on the screen, Facebook and Instagram, and this platform, YouTube. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you continue to tune in and watch the full episode. Come on now. This is the Speak Up Now podcast, where we're inspiring others to speak up and do better. Come on now, subscribe. Come on, subscribe. All right, let's get you back to the full episode. Boom. Tune in. As much love to you, as always. And if you're a returning viewer, you know what it is. Nothing but love for you guys. Keep on sharing my podcast. Keep on liking it, subscribing to it, watching it. Check out my social media platforms. Keep them doing the whole nine. So it's much appreciated. So if you're a new viewer, make sure you pay attention to how we do things in the Speak Up Now podcast. Keep on coming back for more. So let's go and get right into it. So if you're ready for today's episode, say it with me. Let's rock. So for today's episode, it's important, and I bet you guys haven't thought about this before, or any person that has a podcast, I bet 100 to 1 that they haven't thought about this particular topic. So for today's topic is, I bet you'll know this. All of us, including myself, including you, have discriminated before. That's for today's topic. You, the viewer, you, the people, including everybody in this world, whether they know it or not, like it or not, or believe it or not, have discriminated against others before, even they don't know, or intentionally, unintentionally. And where I'm going with this topic is, whether people believe it or not, that's what type of world we live in. And it comes of personal lives, professionally, sports, business, anything in this world. People don't want to believe that no matter what you do, you might be the one that's discriminating or being discriminated against. So black, white, a woman or a man, Asian American, Indian, like all races, all genders have discriminated before or have been discriminated. And mainly everybody has discriminated before against others. When you think about respectfully, I'm gonna talk about different things, but respectfully, when black people want to keep things black, keep music black, keep food black, keep fashion black, whatsoever. Or for another example, or when women want to keep women own businesses that women own, or they creating things that are women owned, hiring people that are women owned, having companies that are all one race, or having companies that is another whole race. People don't think about these things. Hiring managers, companies, small businesses, large businesses don't see that. They think they're trying to do good, which is I respect and understand, but they don't think about like the big picture about it. Like, okay, you might be trying to do good for one gender, one race, or one culture. Much love to you, and I respect that. But you don't think about the other end behind that is that you pretty much are discriminating. I respect that. I respect my culture. I respect women. I respect everything what everybody's trying to do about trying to get my minority things on in this world, which we definitely need. I'm not against that. I'm all for it. The world needs black things, women things, all these racist things. We all need these things. But you have to think about the other side is that if you want these things, keeping things black, keeping things women owned, we're not thinking that you kind of discriminate against others unintentionally. If that's not your intention, I understand that, but you kind of unintentionally discriminating. I know people in this world do not want to discriminate, hate that word, or wants to treat others with respect and equality and kindness and whatsoever. We get that, but unintentionally, when companies hire all women to their teams, they want to keep things women owned. What is that company doing? They are discriminating against men. When men hire but nothing but men in the company, what is that company doing? They discriminate against women. When the company hires only white counterparts, what is that company doing? When a black culture hires nothing but black men or hires nothing but black people, what is that company doing? If a culture keeps a black recipe, keeps a fashion this, fashion that, or movie this, movie that, or music this, music that, what is the culture doing? So it's a bigger picture behind that. I want you guys to see that. Like, you might not want to hear what I have to say, but you can respect it, and you know it's the truth, right? Think about that. Whether you want to believe it or not, I had to face this too, with things I've seen in my life and been through and think about. Whether you believe it or not, you, the viewer right now, has been discriminated against, one, but you have also been on the other side of discriminating against others. Think about that. You might not want to believe it, but it's the truth. And I had to face that to myself as well. Whether I want to believe it or not in my life, of course I've been discriminated. I'm African American. There's been times I've definitely been discriminated against. But I have to also understand, I have to tell myself there's been times where I have discriminated against others just by wanting to keep things black, or keep things this, or keep things that, or I've been, like, you know, you have to face the truth. And this is what this podcast and life is all about. Motivating and inspiring others through tough conversation and difficult discussions. Vice versa. And that's what this episode is about. I want you guys to understand that. You might want to hear it. It might be, difficult to hear, or you might disagree, which is fine. We definitely disagree. But I want you to understand that, do your research behind it. I don't have to believe me. Do your research behind it. Ask people that you trust. Ask your family. Ask your peers. Ask your friends. Ask your co-workers. Personally, ask your mentors. Ask this same great questions to them, and I promise you, their answers will surprise you, and you will be surprised. This is just the truth. When you think about that, and you can't think of in today's world, right now, 2024 and beyond, and probably in the future, professionally, discrimination is at its highest right now. Has been and will be, and will always be, I think. Discrimination is at its highest. It's because more minority-owned companies are being created in this world, which is a good thing. That's a good thing. But you think about when more minority-owned companies are created, businesses that are created, you have to realize that they want to keep their business minority-owned when it comes to hiring more black people, which is good, or hiring more women, which is good, or having more black people or different races, Asian Americans, Indian American, whatsoever, Hispanics, hire those into leadership roles, management roles. They want to keep it like that for a reason. Just like when an all-woman company or all woman minority-owned business is created, they want to keep it women employees owned, which is good. But what is that called? Discriminating. So I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer, like, having an all-woman business is bad, or having an all-black business is bad, or having a woman that's in leadership, or having a black person in leadership, or having a Hispanic in leadership. I'm not saying that. I promise you I'm not saying that. My only concern, my only rebuttal to that is that, think about that, it's pretty much called discrimination. And we as a culture, we as a country, we as a society, or most of us are against racism, discrimination, unfairness, inequality. Most of us are against that. So how do you get over racism, inequality, discrimination, all that and above? How do you get rid of that? By recognizing that you're doing it. That's how you get rid of it. And then and by recognizing it, you have to look yourself in the mirror, look your businesses in the mirror, look at your employees in the mirror, or have them looking in the mirror. Like, it's the truth. And I know you guys wasn't expecting this topic or this episode to be in this episode, but I promise I caught you, didn't I? I promise you that I could probably think of no one who would have thought about this topic before. So I'm bringing something new to the table, which I promise you I will try to do each week for a new episode. So I want you to do this week or after you watch this episode is think about it. Am I telling the truth? Or am I lying? You let me know. And if you think I'm lying, spam my phone with comments or DMs whatsoever. If you think I'm telling the truth, put this message in the comment section, not to put a heart, right? I mean, it's not a bad thing. Well, let me digress. I don't think, how can I say this the right way? I think I said the right way a few minutes ago, that having a minority-owned business, or keeping things minority-owned, or trying to have a vision of seeing more things in this world, more diverse, when it comes of creating different things or having different things, is not a bad thing. In fact, we need it even more. But what I'm saying is, in order to think like that, you also have to think another way. When people of, let's just say, if white counterparts who wants to join those efforts get pushed out just because you want to keep things minority owned, what is that doing? That's discrimination. Vice versa. If a man wants to join a vision or a good cause, but he's not a woman, but the company's minority owned, what is that saying? Is that a bad thing? You gotta look at it from both sides of the aisle. And that's what this episode is about. Looking at it from both sides of the aisle, where you believe it or don't believe it, or if it affects you, or if it doesn't affect you. My thing is, I want you to look at it and think about it, right? You might not like it, you might disagree. In fact, it might make you angry, just because racism, discrimination, inequality, fairness are very, very tough topics for people now, and will always be for the time being. But how you get over it? Continue to talk about it. And people like me, minorities, black or women, or Asians, Hispanics, Indian American, it just starts with a conversation, talking about it, not be afraid to talk about it. So that's why I decided to bring this topic to the table. Do I believe it's discrimination? Yes. Am I against minority-owned things? No. Will I ever be against minority things? No. Because I'm trying to do something myself that's minority-owned with this podcast. So I'm not against it, but I'm not afraid to tell the truth, even when it's tough to tell the truth. So that's for today's topic. I want you to think about and ask yourself, am I lying? Does it make you upset? And am I telling the truth or not? Right? That's for today's topic. Hopefully you enjoyed it. And I'll keep on bringing some more exciting topics, interesting topics to talk about, good, the bad, the ugly. So let's go and end this thing out the right way. I hopefully you enjoyed today's episode and today's topic. I know it's tough, and I know it might have been hard to hear, but that's what we are in this world. What's what we are in this world is to have tough conversations. So let's go and end this the right way. You know what I'm saying? If you're a new viewer, pay attention. And if you're a returning viewer, let's go and end this thing out the right way. All right? Stay mellow. Keep that mellow mind. Stay focused. Stay on a narrow path. And know what's important. And as my man Cam Newton says, aka Ace Boogie, you know what I'm saying? We got one finger, one pinky, one thumb, one love. Boom.